out there. Let's get into it. I want you Leos to get your readings first. What's up? All right. Let's get into it. So you have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Emperor, really? Ten of Cups, Two of Wands, King of Wands, the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is kind of like Libra, but different because of the Queen of Wands and the order. So this is an entirely new reading then. So what I'm seeing here for you Leos, oh, by the way, if you'd like to get a personal reading from me, please make sure to check out my website, which is in the description box below. Also, you can feel free to contact me through email, Kareemspiritworks.com. Also, if you would like to go ahead and get my book, you can do so at barnesandnoble.com. The link to my book is directly in the description, and I'll even post it in the comment section below, along with my website. So for you Leos, no major arcana that represents you Leos in the main spread, but the Ace of Cups, 1:36 in the morning. But the Ace of Cups represents how a lot of you Leos need to understand something. And one of the things that you need to understand is that right around now, you are getting love offered to you. Getting a lot of affection offered to you. That's clear. And the Seven of Cups is you're getting a lot of different people offering that type of affection to you. Here's the problem though. These two cards are about how you need to pick wisely. You need to pick correctly. Because you can end up being with a dysfunctional individual that you do not want to be with later. They do not satisfy you at all. Okay? And the Queen of Cups is about how, right, the Queen of Cups represents the person that you are looking for, that you would like. And some of the traits that the person should have is if they actually care about what it is that you have to say in order for you, right, in order for you to be who you are, right? You know, because mental health is a real thing. You generally, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, maybe you Leos can tell me in the comment section, but generally speaking, who wants to be with someone who is essentially making them stressed and driving them up a wall? You know what I mean? Stressing them out. So the thing is that the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Wands is about, you need a partner too that's very communicative. You've been with too many partners who don't put you on to things, who don't tell you certain things. They try to make it seem like that in a relationship they'll be communicative. Maybe even they were communicative first off, but that was a problem. And why was it a problem? It was because now when you got yourself in the relationship and you thought that you were getting sturdy, right? you wasn't, because it done turned into a whole disagreement that turned into the two of y'all are fighting like cats and dogs. And again, generally speaking, who wants that, right? So the things that the Emperor and the Ten of Cups represent, how this is a situation for you where the Emperor and the Ten of Cups is, you need to start clearing the way for yourself and be responsible. But while you're clearing the way for yourself, clear a way for all of the Emperor is about, you need to clear a way for all the obstacles and start accepting and start taking responsibility for why your love life is the way that it is. Okay? Now, I will be compassionate. Now, certain things you may not have necessarily been looking for, but what I mean when I say take responsibility and control over the things that you do, What I mean by that is you need to start putting yourself into a situation where you get rid of the people who are very dysfunctional for you. So all of the needless drama individuals, those are the type of people that you want to stop having around you. The Ten of Cups is a representation of the type of people that you want to be around. So then what this is saying is you need to fight to have those people in your life by cutting off all of the people who like a little bit too much drama. Too much. So while being ruthlessly doing that. Because sometimes people like to play like they are ignoring you cutting them off. I've had that a lot of times where they want you to get the hint when they're cutting you off. But then when you're cutting them off, they're playing like they're ignorant. Huh? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Huh? Well, I don't know. So the things that you have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about also the Two of Wands, King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is that you need to be careful for getting yourselves into a relationship of this type. And you also need to be careful getting yourselves into a relationship specifically of the Two of Wands type, yes, but to be even more specific than that, a partner that won't even pay attention to you half the time or at all or too much. And the only time that they do pay attention to you is when they want to call you for some sort of physical activity that you know what I'm talking about. And you want to also not neglect the partner yourself. That's my cat there. But my cat is all stretched out, relaxing. But you want to also make sure that you're in a situation yourself where you Leos are not ignoring them back as a response to them ignoring you. That's gonna really hurt the relationship. And you know, like I said before, it's these games has really got a lot of these relationships very, very unable to actually succeed, is because so many people playing games, because so many people have emotional baggage issues. And I was talking about this. This is the reason why it is. This is the principle of what Cancer Crab represents. Of many things. But Cancer Crabs represents how it is that you need to essentially learn to figure out your own emotional baggage. Okay? Because if you don't, it's going to get you in a lot of hot water. That's why even in Vedic astrology, the moon is one of the most important parts of our birth chart. The moon, Mercury, the 11th house, check those out. So now let's clarify the Emperor. Oh wow. Let's clarify the Emperor. So you have the Four of Cups, okay, the Justice, and then you have the Seven of Swords. Well, the Four of Cups is about how clearing the way of all the distractions so that you can actually get to this type of relationship that you want. Stop hanging out. If you ask, this is just my suggestion, but stop hanging out with people who don't have your best interest in mind. And it's fairly easy to figure out if someone is rocking with you and they have the same vision as you or not. Just let time pass by. Time and patience, right? The mightiest of all warriors are these two: time and patience. Patience and time. They're going to reveal themselves. The Justice and the Seven of Swords. The Justice and the Seven of Swords represent how this is a situation for you where The Justice is about how you Leos need to understand that, because if you know, and you need to, what it's saying is you need to be fair about the types of people whom you are going to start cutting off and forgetting about and not hanging around anymore. Because if you're not careful of this is what the Justice represents. If you're not careful of this, you can do more harm than you do good. And then you have the Seven of Swords, right? Now, Justice or Libra is the seventh zodiac sign on the wheel. So if you're going clockwise, that is. So so the Seven of Swords, right, is a trickster card. But in this, it represents how, in this tarot deck specifically, right, because it is still a trickster card in any deck, but in this specific tarot deck, it has a little bit of a nuance to it. And the nuance is you need to also you need to separate yourself from the BS by making distinctions of who those people are. So in other words, creating boundaries. Maybe some of you Leos have not created. See, the point of decency is creating boundaries. It's not what you will do. It's what you will not do. See, and what you won't do, those specific things of what you won't do, that quality of what you won't do is what makes you a quality person. So for instance, if you're willing to sell your soul for some money, you're not necessarily seen as a very wise or very qualified person. But if you were able to keep your soul, so to speak, you know what I mean, and say, no, you're going to do things your way, and you're going to have integrity, and you're going to set the boundary here. You're not willing to succeed by the way of doing this. Then it means that you have decency now because you set those boundaries. So what you Leos want to honestly do is start setting those boundaries. You don't want to find yourself in a position where you are doing just a little bit too much for too little. You want to set yourself up for success. Now let's clarify the Seven of Cups. Right? Let's clarify the Seven of Cups. So you have the Three of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the World to clarify the Seven of Cups. Now the Three of Cups represents, again, you're gonna have a lot of options on your hands. You probably already do. You know, a lot of people in your phone that you can call. The Wheel of Fortune, however, represents how you really want to make sure that those people that you could potentially call up and ask them to hang out with you don't necessarily pose some sort of harm to you, right? I'm sure. And the things that the World represents, you also want to make sure that you remain humble, okay? Because the World, see, this is where you start to see my nuance. The World represents humility as well. A lot of people don't know that. But the World represents humility as well. Because the highest card, and more specifically, the major arcana, but the highest card, period, excuse me, in the tarot deck is actually the Fool. So the more you go higher up in number, as far as the major arcana is concerned, is the less powerful it actually is. But the World, the World is the highest card as far as the number is concerned. So what it represents is you've been taken so far away from the source. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing. I never said that. What I'm trying to say here is that you're the furthest major arcana away from the source. So what that means is there's a need, because the World represents Earth, how it manifests, Malkuth, as far as the Kabbalah is concerned. Malkuth, the kingdom, the planet, the Earth. where things manifest 3D here, right? So this is about how a lot of you need to understand that. Don't be in that situation where you start dating for the fun of it in that regard, right? Just to be able to smash and smash. Be humble with yours. Because if you don't, you're going to run yourself into situations because the people whom you will be smashing, they've now attached themselves to you in such a way and they're very difficult to deal with. You don't want that. Or maybe you do. But I don't want you Leos personally to get yourselves caught up in anything, dysfunctional. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.